see what happens is that these aftermarket or spyware and malware files, files that are not from the manufacturer or not from Samsung, not factory files or system files from Samsung. They get remote downloaded onto the phone, and then all these different files like device, etc., mount, OEM, PROC, SD card, storage, system vendor, right? All these different um, illegal system folders get downloaded onto my phone, and then I can't send out or um, I can't email anybody because it's basically blocked or unsent or sent to the outbox, as well as like other emails and stuff like that are modified or changed, and then the information is changed so that basically what I'm trying to send isn't sent to the actual email or person that I'm sending it to. That's what's been happening for years now. These are not Samsung files. These are not files that are files from the manufacturer or the or the cell phone provider. Okay, this is all basically remote downloaded or downloaded maliciously by the county. Like basically, this has been happening since Kendra was forced into One Safe Place. So this has been happening to every phone or device that I've had since for the past 8 years since Kendra tried to go into OSB. And it's all over the place. I mean, like it's basically embedded onto the device to where I can't operate the device normally or without problems or without any without it going to basically a remote server or going through a remote server, having the emails and information looked through, changed, modified, or what have you, and then sent back either to the person that I was trying to email originally or back to me as well. And these are the type of system files, humpback whale recovery files. Like I mean, like this whole whale thing or humpback whale thing or whatever. Like this just started recently, like when I got out of jail, because I was basically I was arrested again, right? And then once I got out of jail, the county was freaking out about it, freaking out because they basically accused me of something that I didn't do. And then so all of a sudden all these other system files showed up on my phone. This is MDL log, like basically the information Titan phone and whatnot. Like basically the information is accessible. You can look through it, and that would be the reason why. Let's say law enforcement or whomever, right? Like law enforcement agencies, local law enforcement or the DA, right? Like they don't want to come over. They don't want to look at this. They don't want anybody else to look at it, right? They don't want, for anybody to have, to look at the phone or have the phone or access to the phone because they know exactly what's been happening. See, like that's the reason why I know it's the county and the DA, as well as like local law enforcement and one safe place, is because this is easily accessible or like easily gone through by law enforcement if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like the phone's here, I'm here. These things could be looked at. These things could be accessed. It's not complicated. You know what I mean? And then the fact that nobody, basically everybody refuses to talk about it or look at it. Everybody refuses to accept the truth. You know what I mean? Like then they just play this game like, oh, we don't, it's somebody else, or we don't know what you're talking about, or oh, it's somebody else that hacked the phone, or it's not us, humpback well recovery files, like that all showed up recently, like literally within the past like 2 years. So, like what's the plan? You know what I mean? Or, like, what's the concept? Like, why wouldn't law enforcement want to investigate these things? And the obvious reason, or the obvious answer, is the fact that they know what it is. They know this is on here. They know this is that this has been remote downloaded. They know that they have access to this device, as well as all the like all the system files as well. You know what I mean? They know that they've been changing emails and been changing information to avoid accountability. You know what I mean? So it's pretty obvious. It's apparent, or I guess it's inevitable. It's blatant. It's overwhelming, right? It's blatantly obvious that they know what's going on, or that they're aware of this, because they don't want to investigate it. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to anybody else, Like, why would there be system files downloaded on my phone in 2008? This phone is relatively new. It's probably like 3 years old, maybe 4 years old. You know what I mean? And then the only people, or the only person that I can actually ask for help, is the manufacturer, or Samsung, or the person that is a prioritary uh, owner of the device, because these files aren't manufacturer files. They're not from Samsung. They're not from my buddies. You know what I mean? They're not from people, ethical hackers that are trying to help people, in life, or help people with network security. This is malicious. This is malice intent. This is done by somebody who is trying to avoid investigation, or trying to avoid prosecution, or prison. You know what I mean? It's not our community, or people like my friends, or people like in our community. This is the district attorney's office. This is the local law enforcement. This isn't the government. Like, the feds aren't running around and like putting these files on our phones. You know what I mean? This is straight from local government, or local law enforcement, who doesn't want to be investigated, or doesn't want to be held accountable for what they've done wrong. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You know what I mean? And then all these system files are like, I mean, like, dude, this goes on for days. And it was literally just downloaded, or remote downloaded, year, within the last year or so. So, I mean, like, obviously, like, okay, who knows this information? Who knows how to do these things? Law enforcement has the resources, has the ability, has the technology. You know what I mean? The Anthony Rose, investigative tech at the district attorney's office. I mean, like, that's pretty obvious, or pretty blatantly obvious, like, that the DA is aware of this, or has the ability to do this, as well as block my emails and stuff. And what they say, or what they tell government, or federal government, federal law enforcement agencies, is that it's for investigation purposes. That's what they say all the time. They always say, "Oh, it's an ongoing investigation, or investigation purposes," or, "Oh, he's done this and this in the past, so, like, we're investigating it right now." And in actuality, they're basically just avoiding, me sending the information to prosecute them. Thank you. God